Good morning, everyone. My name is Leanne, and I'm here to tell you more reasons and to go off of what Michael was saying as to why physician-assisted suicide should be legal throughout the U.S. My opponent, Michael, here was mentioning religion as one of the biggest causes or reasons as to not have it legalized. And one thing I want to say to that is that should someone else's religion determine if one person who is very, very ill to be allowed physician-assisted suicide? In an article, or on the Death with Dignity website, a quote here from that website says that death with dignity laws, also known as physician-assisted dying or aid in dying laws, stem from the basic idea that it is the terminally ill people, not the government and its interference, politicians and their ideology, or religious leaders and their dogma, who should make their end-of-life decisions and determine how much pain and suffering they should endure. So again, government shouldn't have a say in one terminally ill patient who wants physician-assisted suicide and say no to them. And people's religion shouldn't determine another person's fate and death if that's what they want. And in that same article, it says that by adding voluntary option to the continuum of end-of-life care, these laws give patients dignity, control, and peace of mind during their final days with family and loved ones. So again, as Michael was saying here, that it is up to the person to decide on this because of the pain and suffering that they face. They are aware of what their body is going through, aware of the pain and suffering that they're facing, as well as what they are potentially putting their family through. I'm sure at least half of us here have gone through an instance where we've seen a family member suffer from something, at least worriedly ill, maybe not on the brink of death, but in that same scenario where you see them suffering. And it is a matter of, we see them suffering, do we want to keep them suffering for who knows how long with their illness, or do we allow them what they want, a physician-assisted suicide? A study from interviews on patients' families show the concerns of patients' pain. So a lot of family members who have seen their another family member, a terminally ill family member, suffer are concerned about their pain. And in an article by Maureen Dees on unbearable suffering of patients with requests for euthanasia or physician-assisted suicide, her study pointed to that the findings point to the importance of dependency, the emotional impact of loss of dignity and personal integrity, tiredness, and the fears of circumstances of the unavoidable death rather than the pain. So to go on to that, to give you a little bit more detail, I have a story here. Who this was saying this about their mother was not mentioned, but it is in that same article by Maureen Dees, who was conducting a study to see what families go through as far as seeing the terminally ill patient suffer. And she said this about her mother. She said, she wanted to be able to communicate when she was hungry or full, and when her airways needed to be sucked out. She didn't want to choke to death while waiting for her caregiver to unblock her airway. She wanted to be able to write to her legislators. She wanted to be able to use the toilet herself. The disease progressed like a cocoon being spun around her. The outside world was slowly being taken away. So that shows you that just somewhat a daughter seeing her own mother in this very, very serious illness suffer like that, and see how her mother wasn't able to cope with regular life, that she wanted that physician-assisted suicide to be the way that she died rather than suffering, and even her daughter did not want to see her suffering more. Another point I would like to bring up is that medical technology is not always reliable. As we see anyone, even if it's not someone you know, a terminally ill patient being seriously medicated with cancer patients and chemotherapy and all the radiation that they have to do, or even other diseases or illnesses that many people face, that we have seen medical technology fail on us before. And in this article on the right to assisted suicide by Esther De La Torre, she mentions that a dying person's physical suffering can be most unbearable to that person's immediate family. Medical technology has failed to save a loved one. So another thing too is that although we have advanced very, very much with medical technology, there are very many cases where it has failed, you know. It's like false hope saying the doctors are saying we're going to be doing this and this and this, and then we'll see in 6 months or so if it's going to help you or not. And if it doesn't and fail and you see someone die when they wanted that physician-assisted suicide, it's not the route that they wanted to go on. But we shouldn't rely on medical technology being able to save someone, or just wait it out till a person naturally dies on their own. If they want that option, they should be able to have it. Thank you.